What's good with y'all boys? It's Ricey and we back with another video, and for today's video we are trying something new on the channel, chat, and we're going to be making a guide on Daredevil. Alright, so I know y'all probably have seen a lot of guides surrounding this character, but I haven't seen any guides that are made in the actual season. Most of the guides that are out right now are made in the early access, so most of the time they were just comboing on bots and just farming bots. I'm not saying that their guides weren't completely correct, but in this guide I'm gonna try to give y'all something new that isn't in the old guides, and also I'll try and give y'all some tips and tricks on Daredevil as well. I'm also gonna do a VOD review on Daredevil at the end of this guide, so make sure you watch and see the VOD review so you can go over the tips and tricks that I have, and so I can show y'all boys how to really use Daredevil in a real game situation. I also want to say, if you learn something new and you want more guides like this, make sure you like and subscribe. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Also, follow up the Twitch if you ever want to catch me live. I'll be running Daredevil all day over there today and for the rest of the week. And lastly, if you don't mind, help me hit 700 followers on the Instagram if you want a part 2 to this guide. And also if you want an Iron Fist guide. I'm thinking about making one of those too. Alright, enough yapping. Let's get right into the video, man. Alright, so now I want to quickly go over some Daredevil settings. And basically, as you can see, the map has changed. And basically, this is what happens when you load into Daredevil for the first time. You are quite literally blind. And this is not very good for ranked matches because you almost can't see the map and everything is really black. It's just really bad. So I do want to show you guys some settings to help with this, and as you can see, your teammates are extremely confusing to when you're looking at like DPS. I'm also going to show you a way to fix that as well, to make it so the outline is way brighter and you can actually see your teammates and the enemies, so it's not confusing in big fights. All right, to start off, you want to go into the Daredevil settings by just clicking on Daredevil. These are my settings if you want them, and then here's my crosshair settings if you want this as well. But these are the main settings that you want to go for. For the hero settings, you want to make sure you turn your radar sense all the way down so you can see as much as possible, the lowest possible. You also want to turn on hold to wall crawl, hold to use objection, and attack range hit. And also if you don't mind, you can turn on allied health bars. This just makes it so you can see your teammates' health bars, which is also really good to make sure if somebody's low or not on your team. And the setting I'm about to show you next specifically will make it so you can see your teammates between the enemies. Basically what you want to do is you want to go to accessibility, go to allied color. You can change it from orange, red, pink, pinkish, purple, whatever you want to do. I like to do blue, and you want to change that for your allied color, and then go back to keyboard, scroll all the way down to hero, and turn on scanline effects follows accessibility settings. When you turn this on, as you can see, it makes it way easier to see allies through walls now, since it makes them literally just a blue outline instead of bluish reddish, which in my opinion is a godlike setting, and you definitely need to turn this on because as you can see, you can literally, like, there's no way you can't tell who's your teammate and who's not, you know? All right, so to start off this guide, I'm just gonna go over his entire kit. If you don't want to watch this part and you just want to skip to the tips and tricks, I should have a timestamp on the screen. But basically, to start off this guide, Daredevil has two different primary fires. Basically, he has his normal M1, which is just a slow attacking, just quick punch like that, and then he also has a quicker melee punch that's more shorter range, but it's way quicker and it does quicker damage over time. This is the main ability that you want to be using. You don't really want to use this form too much unless they're really far away from you, because as you can see, this has more range, because as you can see, the normal M1 has more range than the quick melee. So you only want to use the quick melee when you're in their face, and the normal melee when you're out of range. And if you were paying attention, there is 3 flames in the middle of your screen to the right of Daredevil. These flames are extremely important into Daredevil's kit. The #1 way to build these flames is by just simply M1ing a target. As you can see here, 1 hit gives you a half of a flame. And I'll go over what the flames actually do in a second here, but just know in future endeavors that you should mainly be using your mouse 1 button and your quick melees to be building up those flames, because as you can see, it builds up extremely fast if used correctly. Alright, now I want to get into Daredevil's first ability, and it is his right click. This ability is basically just a parry. This can parry most ults in the game. This can also parry healing, so if you ever get some healing shot at your block, you'll actually end up healing either you or your teammates just by deflecting. This deflect also does damage over time, as you can see, but you never ever really want to use it for damage. As you can see, this was off of two cooldowns and it barely did any damage. So you never really want to use your right click for damage, only for blocking and if you're in bad situations. So you just want to back up with this and try and get back to a safer spot, or try and get you a little wall climb. And speaking on the wall climb, that is another one of his abilities, which is extremely important for Daredevil. If you played any Iron Fist, you know exactly why this is important. So basically, this wall climb does not have a cooldown. You can basically jump on and off of the wall, but instead of it being like Iron Fist, where you're forced to jump on and off of the wall, you can actually just hang there if you stop pressing W. But whenever you're wall climbing, you cannot press any other ability, since Daredevil's wall climb only goes upwards. So you have to be pressing W to make sure you're going up. But if you don't want to go up, you just stop pressing W, and then you'll get this little like stalking position, and you can kind of aura farm them. All right, and the next ability that we have is Daredevil's left shift. This is a grab or a pull. You can use this ability to pull people in exactly like that. You also get an ability called Righteous Cross after that, which also gives you a half of a flame stack. So it's basically like another M1 that does more damage. You could also use this ability as a escape tool, just to go and like run on a wall or just get out of a sticky situation. But you gotta be careful when using this ability, because it does have a pretty long cooldown. It has around a 12-second cooldown. So if you're just spamming it and not using it correctly, then you'll be in a very sticky situation. But what I like to do is, if I'm in a bad situation and I have like no flames, I'll just block, and then as soon as my block is over, I'll TP out and just get out of that like that. You can also use the Righteous Cross that you get after the left shift to use it as an extra movement ability. So let's say I messed up right here. I could use my Righteous Cross to actually hit that height and have no problems. What's also really good about Daredevil's shift is you can also animation cancel the shift. So basically what I mean by that is, whenever you shift and you jump at the same exact time, you can do like a mini Spider-Man pull. And it looks something like this. All right, and the next ability that you have is literally his most important ability. It's Daredevil's E ability. Daredevil has basically no combos outside of his E ability. This E ability has no cooldown, and it is purely based off of your stacks that you have in the middle of the screen, your little flames. As you can see around the ability, the E ability, it has 2 flames. That's how much of flames you need to activate it. And basically whenever you activate it, it looks something like this, and you get 2 abilities. You get Devil's Chain and you get Devil's Throw. Both of these are extremely good abilities, and you should be using them as much as possible. Devil's Throw is a mini cap shield that basically just juggles around everybody. So if you use it like this, it'll try and hit like 2 or 3 people depending on like the RNG that you get, as you see there. And then also after your Devil's Throw, you do get a Righteous Cross, so you can combo after Devil's Throw as well. And also Devil's Throw gives around 50 overhealth just on cast. So as long as you use it, you will gain 50 overhealth. And then for the next ability, you have Devil's Chain. This is the main ability that you're going to be getting damage from. Devil's Chain is basically just a slam down ability that does, you see, that much damage. And then you also get a Righteous Cross after, so are you doing around half of their HP. But with this ability, there is like a little sweet spot. See, if you aim at the ground, Devil's Chain actually does more damage, and you will deal around like 30% of their HP as long as you're aiming at the ground. So on like Fly Heroes, if you're ever aiming up, it will do less damage, as you see there. But if you're aiming at the ground, you will do way more damage, a bigger chunk. Honestly, my tips for this is just look directly at the ground whenever you're doing this, just so you get the max damage every time. The only problem is if they're on flyers, it's actually like really hard to hit them and do a lot of damage, because obviously you can't hit the ground. But this ability also does give overhealth depending on how much damage you do. So as you can see here, if I use Devil's Chain, I have 325 HP. And if I use it, now I have 409. That's around 84 overhealth that I gained just by using that one ability, and you can continuously spam it. And that is the max overhealth that you can gain, even if you aim directly at the ground. So it's around 84 overhealth, and you can continuously spam this ability. So you can literally get like 450 overhealth max out and just keep spamming that just so you don't die. That's the main reason why I say the Devil's Chain is the best ability to use, especially in close quarter situation, because you will literally always have overhealth built up, and there's literally nothing any support or anybody can do against you unless like the entire team starts focusing you. Alright, and the last ability that Daredevil has, well, not really the last, but the last like normal ability that Daredevil has is his F ability. This is called Sonic Pursuit. It basically makes it so you can see people through walls, as you can see here. It keeps whoever you marked no matter where you're at on the map. You could literally go halfway across the map and they will forever be marked as long as the red little line on the other side of your screen is there. So as you can see here, you can't see anybody from this range over here, but once your passive goes off, you can start seeing people. And then once you get around like 35 meters, I think this is, or 40 meters, you can actually use your Sonic Pursuit. And then when you get a little bit closer, around 15 meters, or around like 18 meters, next like 20 meters, you can actually use an ability called your dash. And what this does is dash you directly towards your target. But you have to be careful when using this ability because this is on a 15-second cooldown. And the only way to reset that cooldown is by getting a kill on your target, as you can see here. And now I can use the dash again and combo right again. So it's kind of like a dash reset from Genji from Overwatch, but in my opinion, it's definitely better because you literally auto track to your target. Also, if you didn't know, Sonic Pursuit also gives you around 2 flames. So as soon as you jump to them, you can actually use your little slam thing as soon as you jump to them. So using Sonic Pursuit to dive is probably your best option. You can also mix it in between your E, and you can just use this dash and then instantly drop to them like that, which is really good as well, and you'll get your resets right back. And the last ability that Daredevil has is his Q, which is basically his ultimate. Basically what this ultimate does is it does damage over time, and also if you're looking at my stacks, you can see it gives me stacks over time. So in this ultimate, you will constantly be building stacks. So you should be trying to spam your punches and your E as much as possible, just so you can get as many chain slams as possible, and you'll just be killing everything. But you gotta be careful in this ultimate because there is no like overhealth gain. So if you're not just spamming like how I'm doing here, then you will die extremely fast, and people tend to focus you very hard whenever you pop Daredevil out. And people who are in it are most likely looking for the Daredevil because that's all they can see. I almost forgot to say, but this also does blind you, as you can see here. Whenever they have the little mark on their head like that, that means that they're getting close to being blinded, and they're basically blinded to everybody other than Daredevil. Alright, so now I kind of want to get into like the mini techs that I've learned and the little things that you should probably know about Daredevil before you get started with this character. This is like the beginning of the advanced beginner tips. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I do not know all of the techs. So if you think that I missed something in the first half of this video or in this half of the video, please let me know in the comments and let other people know how to play this character if you just want to help out the community. Also with Daredevil, you want to make sure you're using your quick melee more than your normal melees, because you can see they don't look too slow right now, but compared to something like this, it's extremely slow. So using the quick melee will just bring your stacks up way faster than using this. You can also animation cancel it and just like stack these two as well, which is really good. I see a lot of people doing this just in case like somebody's running and you just need to like get that extra damage. But yeah, this is basically how you want to build your stacks. So you can like jump in, righteous cross, build your stacks, quick melee, quick melee, quick melee, quick melee. Exactly like that. Honestly, the best way to practice Daredevil's combos is just by sitting in practice range and jumping on top of the bots. So as you can see right here, I have 0 stacks, and basically it takes around 4 hits for Daredevil to get all of his stacks back. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you press E, just like that. And then if you use the quick melee, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. But as you can see, on the second hit of Daredevil's quick melee, it actually doesn't give him a stack. So you got to be careful about that. That's also why it's very important to be mixing in normal M1s whenever you're doing this, just so you get that faster damage and you get stacks faster. As you can see here, I'm mixing the M1s. I'm getting stacks faster just because I'm mixing. Alright, so now I want to go over the abilities that basically give you Righteous Cross, because I feel like I didn't explain it too well when I was testing it out over there. But basically, with Daredevil, Righteous Cross is probably your most important ability because it's basically like a combo extender and it helps you stay up, basically. So the first ability that gives you max stacks is his left shift. This ability gives you 2 stacks just for using it, and then you get another half of a stack by using Righteous Cross. So you can literally just pull them into you, use Righteous Cross, E, and then use Righteous Cross again, which is a really, really good combo. Also, whenever you use E, no matter which ability you use, you will get a Righteous Cross right after it. So if you use the E ability and you use Devil's Throw, as you can see, you get Righteous Cross, and you're able to use it exactly like that, and you're able to get 1 more stack back just from using that Righteous Cross. So you want to be making sure you're hitting the righteous cross and you're paying attention to having it, just so you can get your stacks just a little bit faster. Devil's Chain also gives you a righteous cross, as you can see here. And that's kind of how you just want to keep comboing it, just by using Devil's Chain, righteous cross, Devil Chain, righteous cross. And that's the main combo that you're going to be using with this character, because that's the combo that does the most damage in the game for him. And then also, if you use Sonic Pursuit and use the dash, you do not get a righteous cross, so you got to be careful for that. But like I said, if you do use Sonic Pursuit and you use the dash, you do get a free 2 flames, so you can instantly use the E right after, and you'll be able to TP dash to them like that. So you use the dash, E, and then you do the righteous cross, and you see how much damage that combo does right there. And that's without throwing any M1s in there, anything. Not even me trying to combo. This is literally just me pressing F and E and left click. That's literally it. So you do F, E, left click, left click. And that's how much damage you do in a combo. You can take this even further by doing F, E, and then quick melee, and then the dash, and you'll actually get a one-shot combo. So basically what I'm doing in like a slower sense is I'm using the F, I use my E, and then I do a quick melee before using righteous cross. I use righteous cross, and yeah, that's the amount of damage that you do. Also, what I see a lot of people do is I see a lot of people use Devil's Throw. They use Sonic Pursuit, Devil's Throw, dash, go in, and then use the E. Exactly like that. It looks a little confusing, but literally all you're doing is using Sonic Pursuit and you're stacking it with the E. So basically, I use Sonic Pursuit. I gotta get in the range for the dash, and then I use the Devil's Throw, dash, and then I use E. That's literally all I'm doing, and that is a one-shot combo right there. That works really well, but for some reason, I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I use the throwable, it just does not connect how I want it to connect, or it just won't do as much damage as I want it to do. So you gotta be careful when using that ability, but you can move stack your Devil's Throw with the dash, as you see here. And then you just go in for a one-shot combo exactly like that, just by using the E. Literally, it's just E, right-click, F, F, and then E again. And then a righteous cross, and that's the one-shot combo. But you have to remember that people are going to be moving around, so this might not actually one-shot in real game, but it is a good combo to be going for. So E, and then just like that. All right, so those are all like the Sonic Pursuit combos that I basically just showed you, and the basic M1 combos. Now I kind of want to show you guys the combos that I have with the pull. The pull is very important as well, because you got to be extremely important with the pull though, because if you use this wrong and you miss the pull and it goes on cooldown, you literally have no other escape option other than your Sonic Pursuit. And kind of you low-key just gotta pray that somebody's in your range for you to Sonic Pursuit away. But this is the combo that I like to do to keep me safe. You can just do the normal shift into a cancel, and then you do that into an E, into a righteous cross. All right, there is a mini tech with the shift. So basically, if you press shift and you hold S, you will get a little cancel, and they do get pulled forward a little bit. I think they actually might have nerfed this, because I swear this was like pulling further before. They probably did nerf it overnight, but it still does work a little bit, as you can see here. And you can pull people out of position just to like help your teammates, or if like let's say a Wolverine is grabbing your tank, you can literally just pull him out just like that and basically get like a small little stun. But also what I see a lot of people do is I see a lot of people cancel the shift with their E ability. You can do that as well, which would look something like this, and basically you see you get a lot of damage there. The bot was a little low there, so that is not the max damage, but I'll show you right now what the max damage is. So you do this, cancel it exactly like that, and you do around like 50% of their HP, which is extremely good. And I'm pretty sure I didn't even get the slam effect for that, so I don't even think I did that right. But if you just do shift, cancel it with E, you get that little slam, and then you get a righteous cross right after, which is just really good combos, and it works really well because literally nobody expects it. But if you wanted to take that combo further, and this is not a true combo, but you can do shift into the E and then just one-shot them like that. It's not true, but it does work. And you can get a lot of damage off really fast like that. And it also, you know, builds your little E stacks, so you can spam your righteous cross even more. But this is a really good ability because you can also use it from height. Unfortunately, they did nerf the fuck out of this ability, so it is a little harder to use. But if you're in around the 10-meter range, you can just spam it and still cancel it with that righteous cross. You can also use the pull with Devil's Throw and do something like this, but you got to be careful with that because it just doesn't do as much damage and you won't gain as much overhealth, and it's not that worth going for that combo because you're using your shift for it. and you just won't have as much overhealth as you would just using the normal chain slam. But yeah, that's pretty much all the techs and combos that I have with this character for right now, and this was only from me playing from day one and a little bit after into today. But in my opinion, I think this character is extremely good. I just hope they don't start nerfing his techs, because you know Marvel Rivals, bro. They hate seeing people actually do the good things with the game. So yeah, I don't know. They already done nerf one of his techs, but we just gotta pray they don't nerf all the rest of them. But yeah, now I kind of want to get into a VOD review and just kind of explain the playstyle with this character and mainly what you want to do. He is a dive character, so yeah. I do want to say, if you learned something new from this video, or you just like my content and you want more Daredevil videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and every like and sub helps with that goal. So thank you if you do in advance. All right, chat. So now I want to show you guys a game with Daredevil. And as you can see here, this was a Daredevil diff. But in this screen, I kind of just want to show you the meta bans for Daredevil. You do want to ban Hela and you want to ban Emma. But unfortunately, we didn't actually ban Emma this game. But if you ban Hela, you get rid of the Namor team up, which counters Daredevil, since he is a flanking hero. And then also Emma, just to make sure that the Emma doesn't turn around and just grip you in the back line. Another good thing to ban is also like a Ultron, because he kind of struggles against fly heroes. Not too bad though, you can play into fly heroes. It's just really hard to kill them if they just fly literally straight up. But yeah, let's get right into this, man. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, before we start this is a diamond lobby. This was me basically still learning how to play Daredevil. Mind you, this is my first day, so I was refusing to play on my ult account just so I didn't throw my elo. But I promise you, this is still very informational and very educational. All right, to start this off, you want to take the same route with Iron Fist and basically start the flank. As you can see here, I actually started on the Daredevil because he was actually in my flanking position. I'm just trying to chase him down, get him out of the height, and then I end up going directly to the backline. The reason I go to the backline here is because obviously, as you can see, nobody's really paying attention to me other than the Daredevil, and the only reason he's paying attention to me is because he can see me through walls. And this is where Daredevil shines. All right, so I see the Daredevil come at me. I instantly start blocking. You never really want to use the block first. It's kind of like with Iron Fist, and we get into a 1v1. The only reason I actually win that 1v1 is because he missed his slam, so I kind of got lucky. But in a 1v1 situation with Daredevil like that, you want to make sure you're using your slam as much as possible. Do not use your throw. Trust me, as you can see here, I'm at 36 HP. I use my slam. I go to 84 HP. Now he's 1 HP because I hit the ground with my slam. And I just win the fight with quick melees and get out. So make sure you're always using the slam. Never ever use the throw in a 1v1 situation. Now I'm just stalking the backline, trying to figure out a target to go on. Find the dagger, get her low enough, instantly kill her, go to the Luna. I think I actually died for this kill. I live because I used the slam on the ground and I hit both the Luna and the Mr. Fantastic. Kill the Luna, and then I try and get out. I think I actually die here. But still, I got both supports, and now my team is able to win the fight. And that's kind of the play style with Daredevil. You just want to go in, insta-kill the supports, and then just pray your teammates clear everything else up, or you try and clear everything else up yourself. All right, so starting here, I'm still going for the furthest person back. And at the time, it was the Daredevil because that was literally the only thing I see. I am a blind man. Here, I'm trying to peel. It's also extremely important to peel on Daredevil as well. You should not just be strictly diving the supports. You do want to peel for your teammates as well, just to help them out a little bit. And also with Sue Storm, you do want to make sure you have at least one ability to track back to the Sue Storm. As you see here, the Sue Storm pushed me away and then she jumped away. Sue Storm is kind of like a soft counter to Daredevil because obviously if you use all your abilities, you can't really get close to her. But you see here, I have my dash. I dash to her and I'm able to finish off the kill, I think. Maybe. Possibly. But you see they're peeling from me. Kill the Black Panther. And I go right back to the dagger. And we end up securing the kill, which is really huge here. But yeah, the amount of like backline pressure that this character has is almost stupid to not be playing in the backline with this hero. Like there is literally no reason to be on the front line unless the backline is like really backed up or the front line is just feeding. You see here, I'm peeling for the BP. It's also really easy to peel for BP because you can just dash to him. Go straight to the dagger. She TPs away. Now here, I'm preparing to ult because I know that this ult is about to run out. I ult, instantly go for the supports because they're the easiest to kill. And then I force the second ult, and after this, I think I just get out. Ooh, I almost missed that shift there. I get out, and then I get juggled by Hulk, and he just killed me, of course. But yeah, either way, that was still a really good ult because I forced the dagger out. Now they have 0 ults coming into this next fight, while we also have nothing, but we are up on ults compared to them, as they're on 8% and we are on 55% and 35%. So we basically just almost win this team fight just because of that Daredevil ult that I just did there. All right, now I'm just stalking the Daredevil. I do want him to get off of this height because I don't want him to flank my team. This is a part of the peeling aspect. This is what I mean by peeling. I go for the Daredevil. I mean the BP. It is a little hard to kill BP, but if you use your chain slam, you should not have a problem with it as long as you just like use the chain slam as good as possible and actually like land it. Here I think I actually die, or no, I actually live because I used the chain slam. This is exactly why I say use the chain slam as much as possible for this exact reason. Look at this. I'm in a terrible situation. I'm at 100 HP. I'm about to die. 40 HP, I turn around, use the chain slam. Now I'm at from 40 to 166, and I just back out with my right click. And that's the only way I live there, which is huge. We killed the Daredevil. I think I missed everything here, and I like just got shit on. But like I was like completely blind because Daredevil ult with like the blind on Daredevil, you literally can't see anything. Okay, we're coming back. Pretty sure we clean up this fight. Here, I'm just looking for the furthest person back. I'm trying to go for the supports before they like heal up the teammates. Go for the dagger, insta kill her. I see the Sue. Now I'm going for her. I think she pushes me here. Actually, never mind. Really good. And we just clear up the fight after that. But yeah, I'm telling you, the main way to play Daredevil this season is literally just to flank. He is like prime Iron Fist in my opinion. Like, if you played Iron Fist in Season 1 and Season 0, he basically plays in the exact same way. As in, you go for supports and then you go for tanks right after. Or you go for DPS and then tanks right after. You see I used the pull tech so like the dagger couldn't get out, but she ends up still getting out because the Daredevil's on me. But yeah. You just want to also be careful in Daredevil 1v1s because if you miss like your Devil's Chain, you basically auto lose the fight. So you always want to hit that Devil's Chain as much as possible. You see here I'm trying to do the pull tech, but I unfortunately only hit the thing with the pull. Right now they're using Sue ult and I was just being stupid. I don't know why I didn't try and leave the Sue ult. But yeah, we ended up losing the fight, I'm pretty sure, because I died early. Alright, going into this next fight, I'm just trying to like peel them out and get them from standing in front of my team like this. I'm not gonna lie, when Daredevil is in a corner like this or in a small room, he's actually not that effective when like there's multiple people in the room because he just takes a lot of damage. As you can see here, I think I just barely get out here only because of the rocket ult. But I'm blinded and I can't hear a goddamn thing right now. Like it's just insane. But that was because he used Daredevil ult in there. Now I'm literally just spamming as much as possible, just trying to spam my chains, trying to get as much as possible. Go to the Sue. Unfortunately, she did use the little like push as soon as I was about to dash to her. But I used chain throw to get that back. And yeah. It's basically just straight cleanups. They used too many ults in that room, and we got to clean up after that. Alright, here, now I'm stalking again. But unfortunately, this fucking Mr. Fantastic knew that I was stalking. I'm not gonna lie. Mr. Fantastic against Daredevil is not a good 1v1. I don't recommend taking that 1v1 just because of how much, like, overhealth Mr. Fantastic games. It's low-key just not fair, I'm not gonna lie. But here they wasted Sue ult in their spawn, so now I'm looking for a dive on the supports. As you can see here, I go in with chain throw, try to get as much overhealth as possible. I see that they're trying to peel for me, pull in the Sue, and I instant kill her. But this is why I really like Daredevil because they almost can't react to you being in the backline if you use all your cooldowns correctly. So you gotta be trying to hit the backline as much as possible because there's literally like almost nothing they can do to stop you. Like, even if they were to stun you with, like, a Luna Snow, you can just use your block and then run away with your shift and just be chilling, literally. Just be actually vibing out. This is, like, a prime example of what you should be doing on Daredevil every fight. Taking a weird off angle, and I'm looking for the supports. It's not really a weird off angle. Mostly everybody takes this, whoever's trying to flank. But you see, I'm on the supports. I see my Thor go in, so now I'm going strictly to this Sue. I see she pushes me away. So I use my shift and I get out with my righteous cross, and that's exactly how you should be engaging and disengaging. If you get pushed back, or if anybody resets your cooldowns like how she just did there, then that is the perfect opportunity to get out. Do not try and force a push. Just leave the fight, bro. You see here, She pushes me away. I have no more stacks. As you can see, I only have 1 stack. So I'm like, nah, I'm just going to get out with my shift. And I live and I keep my life. Emma uses diamond, keep my life. And this is still a winnable fight. I'm still looking for the supports. Unfortunately, Daredevil sees me. He comes up there. We're taking the 1v1. I hear that my dagger ult, so now I'm going back into the dagger ult. I would rather there than try and 1v1 that Daredevil. I end up using ult. We go to the dagger, kill her. Now I'm looking for the Sue. Unfortunately, the Emma grabbed me and she just one-tapped me. I'm not gonna lie, for whenever I'm going up against Emma as Daredevil, it feels like she just one-taps me no matter what if she hits me with grab. I don't know what it is, but like, bro, she does too much fucking damage or something. I don't know. Alright, in this fight, Daredevil ended up using fight. I mean, his ultimate, so I end up leaving the fight. I'm praying to God he doesn't chase me here, and he actually doesn't. I get onto point, Emma grabs me, and I think we just lose the round here. I'm pretty sure after that. Yeah, there was really nothing I could have did there. My team died early that fight. But we did end up getting a extremely good push here, so that was still a really good push in my opinion. Alright, now we're going into the start of the next round. You don't really want to play obvious like this. I feel like this is kind of just stupid. If you can, what I would recommend doing is either like trying to go up to height up here, and you can like stalk them from right here. This is a risky play because literally if they walk out of spawn and they just like look up to the right, or the Daredevil looks up to the right, he'll just be able to see you. But you can wait up here, or you can go into this little room right here, and you can wait behind this door and like just stalk the fuck out of the supports, or just play up here. Nobody ever checks up here. Nobody ever checks up here, so just waiting and stalking up here would be really good, but you do have to be aware and be careful of that Daredevil.
Hell's Kitchen is behind me. On HUD is now.
Alright, and as you can see, Daredevil spotted me, so now we're going to take the 1v1 again. He already messed up by using his right click early, basically gaining no overhealth. So I used that. I used all the rest of my cooldowns because he used his block early as well. We both used our block. I used the rest of my cooldowns to escape, get my righteous cross, wait it out, get a little bit of damage, and just chill out. Ooh, I almost died there. I used the devil's chain to actually live there. I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot harder to play Daredevil on defense than it is to play him on attack. But as you see here, you just gotta just peel, honestly. That's like your best option. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to kill the Daredevil because I missed my righteous cross. But yeah, this is like just kind of how you want to play. You don't want to run into the front line like this. This is a bad play. Because if this Emma has diamond, which she has, and if that was a good Emma, she would have literally just gripped me and I would have instant died there. So instead of doing something like that, instead of just walking at their team like an idiot like how I just did, you could take this like upstairs flank right here. Instead of going straight forward, you could wall climb, and then you could stalk the back line and help your throw out a little bit right here. And actually, if I would have did that, I most likely would have either killed the Daredevil or the Sue there, and it would have been a perfect dive. And then we would have just cleaned up the fight. But yeah, try not to just walk in the front line like this because you are a melee hero. Doing this is like, there's just no reason to ever like attack the tanks. So always be flanking. Never attack the tanks unless you like 100% need to, or they're just like stuck in your back line. You see here, I'm still playing that front line, playing extremely bad. But just be chill on me, chat, chill on me. This is my first time on Daredevil. I'm still learning the experience. That's why we're doing this VOD review. But as you see here, I'm starting to learn that I need to go into the back line. And I'm starting to tear up the back line now. And now I have a position to where I can sit on the back line and kind of like do a lot. I think I actually learned here, maybe. Let's see. No, I actually beat here. I know what I did here. I was just fucking hard here. You just chill on me, chill on me, chill on me, chill on me, chat. I actually chill on me. Actually.
There's still work to be done. There's still work to be done.
All right, here we go against the. All right, here is when I. Alright, here is when I start to adapt the flanking playstyle and start to realize that going for tanks is not the play on Daredevil. So here you see I'm just stalking my prey. I'm trying to get in without anybody seeing me. Somebody sees me, somebody shoots me. So I'm like, I'm not going to go in. Daredevil's ulting in the back line. I do not want to ult here because I feel like my team is going to die here. But we're winning the fight. I kill the Hulk because he's gripped up by the Emma. And then I'm just trying to get this Fantastic out of the form. I ult in the backline here just to force their ult. I knew that they were gonna ult here. I just did it to force their ult because they were probably gonna hold that fucking forever. But for some reason, I'm still just sitting in the ult. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? Honestly, after I popped that, I probably should have just left. Now that I know that, if you ever force out a Daredevil, if you ever force out an ult with Daredevil ult, do not sit in the ult, bro. Just walk away, bro, because you literally gain no overhealth. You get no heals, and it's just all bad for you. So just don't do it. Take this 1v1 with Daredevil. Pretty sure I actually win this here because I'm getting healed and he's not. Ooh. Use my block to get some extra heals. Sitting on the Emma, just trying to force her out of my backline. That's the only time, like I said, you go for the tanks. I'm looking for the supports here. I couldn't find the supports. I don't know where the Sue was, and I don't know where the dagger was. So now I'm just kind of like punching anything that's in my sight. End up backing up to try and reset. Get the dagger. Finally found her. I'm going for Emmer because she's gripped up. Emma's one. Now we go for dagger. Daggers respawned. And I think I actually killed the dagger. I don't know. Yeah, I killed the dagger 100% because I'm getting overhealth from the Fantastic and the dagger because I'm just pressing my E in left click. That's why I'm telling you, the chain slam is that's the best ability in the game for Daredevil. I go on the Daredevil because the Fantastic is invulnerable right now. I pop my ultimate and we just clean up the fight. There's literally nothing they can do in a situation like this unless they have a support ult. They're just gonna get fucking rolled. But yeah, GG's. That's kind of how you want to play Daredevil. Literally, he is a flank character. He's not a tank buster like Iron Fist. He's not Wolverine. He's not really Magic either because Magic does do a lot more damage to the front line. And he's literally like, if you played in Season 0 to like Season 1.5, he is literally Season 0 to Season 1.5 Iron Fist. Strictly flank only, one tap the back line, and then go to the DPS, and then go to the Vanguards. You never want to go to the tanks first. Ever, 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 because you just won't do any damage. And that is like your weakest point. That's where you'll take the most damage. His block is just not good enough to like tank bust. But everything else is just perfect about his kick. He's literally a flanker. He one-taps the backline. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more videos like this and you want another guide, a more advanced guide than this advanced guide in the future, please like up the video and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Peace.